Good morning. We're going to talk to you today about mastery again because we don't think we can talk about it enough. We want to be abundantly clear what you're really trying to do here as you are experiencing the lives that you are in. We want to give you a little repeat information just to get you on task or on the right track of thinking, yes? So we want you to understand that you have lived many lives and you have lineage that has lived many lives. And all of this is a part of you. All of it is playing a part in the life that you are living now, you see. You have experienced all of that in your past and are accumulating presently. And this is what will form your potentiality for your upcoming incarnations, you see. So much of what you are living today has already been lived in past lifetimes. And so you have now gathered together the things that you are wanting to perfect or work on in this lifetime. And perhaps it is in your lineage, perhaps it is coming from the present life you are in, or one you have lived in the past, you see. And the decisions that you make on those experiences, and by that we mean the way you choose to feel about them, will be the determining factor on what's coming next, you see. It's why we're on you all the time to learn to be the master that we are telling you we want you to be. Because as you decide to not become your experience, as you experience something that is not to your liking, and you become to pick and choose how you will feel about it instead of being victimized by it, now you're creating the probability of a life in a higher consciousness, in a life that feels good, in a life that has quicker manifestation. This is what people talk about in 5D reality. You're creating it. It's you. Many people will say it's unfair, the life that this one has. It's terrible what has happened to that one. You can't tell me that that child deserves this or that. And we would tell you, you don't know its lineage, you don't know its past lives, and you have no idea the thoughts and feelings and the way that this one chose those thoughts and feelings have brought them to the point or place that they are at. There is nothing unfair going on here. There is nothing that is brought to you that you have not contributed to by the way that you have chosen to feel about it, you see. And if you want to feel differently in this life and in the lives that are coming to you, you have to choose differently. You have to become the master. Now let's go into that for a minute because we think it is important that you get this understanding once and for all. We have many people that come to us. They have been in an argument. Something has happened between husband and wife, sisters, brothers, whatever it is. And they feel very justified in the response that they are having to them, you see. And what really is happening here is you are both mirroring back to each other where it is you are vulnerable, where it is your lessons are, and you are picking and choosing whether you're going to overcome those lessons or recreate more of them in this life and in the lives that are coming. We want to give you a little encouragement to work these things out now instead of regurgitating over and over again, you see. So what can a person do when they are met in conflict? And what is conflict? It's not even a conflict. That's what we find so funny about it. When you don't agree with someone, it's because you shouldn't. You have sovereignty. You have your right to your own opinion. But what happens is one of you or both of you decide that you cannot go on until the other one sees your point of view the way that you do. This is what you call conflict. This is what we call sovereignty. This is what we call a good thing. This is what we call fairness. This is what we call you creating your own life experience. Stop blaming it on someone else. What does the master do? The master goes up against someone, and if he becomes stimulated and he has an emotional response to them, he knows that he has a lesson in him that he needs to soothe or figure out, you see. And then he chooses to respond to the one in front of him, which really has nothing to do with why he feels the way he does. He just thinks he does. And he gives him what he needs. If he's feeling superior, he says to him, I am glad that you are here. I value what you are giving to me. And all the while he sees this one in the high vibratory level that the one wants to see himself but is not seeing himself that way, or he wouldn't be doing what it is he is doing, he elevates them both. He elevates himself for seeing the man or woman in love, and he elevates the one that he is in interaction with, you see. He settles down right away. He stops his opposition energy. He comes back into alignment, you see. Everybody's learning lessons here. Everybody's on a path of understanding, of mirroring back to each other what those lessons are, you see. At some point, we want you to convert to this mastery. We want you to feel the emotion that is spurred in you by your interactions with others. Breathe it through. Let it fly right through you. Yes? And then choose to give the one in front of you what they're seeking. We're not telling you to suppress. We're telling you to feel. Feel your own response, your own sovereignty. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to push against them either. You can just say, I hear what you are saying. I honor it. Yes, you're honoring their sovereignty. And then you hold your own, you see. Not by opposing them, not by pushing, forcing, or coercing them to see that you're right and they're wrong, that you're somehow over them and they're under you. This is a big problem for humans, especially when they have strong control aspects. It's the thing that squirts out everywhere. Some of you are aware that you have them, and you try to suppress this control, and then it sneaks out in places that you wouldn't even expect it to show up, like in spirituality, your health, wherever else it is, that you are experiencing something that it thinks it can sneak by you in, you see. We want you to use all your interactions for what they're intended for. They're intended for you to learn a lesson about yourself. You have to go inside and decide, what is it in me that felt diminished? What is it in me that felt sad, angry, jealous, whatever the emotion is that the one in front of you ignites or shows you, yes? And then decide that you're going to respond to them in love for that message, that you're not going to hold them accountable for what it is that you contain inside you. Because we're going to tell you something. There's something in there. When you come up against someone that you're not enjoying the interaction with, there's something you need to work out inside yourself. You see. This isn't going to be a long recording. We really want you to understand that mastery is love. I love you for bringing me this message about myself. I'm going to do everything I can to elevate you for it. Not by changing my view, and not by being right or wrong, or deciding you're right or wrong, by knowing that the whole reason for this interaction that we are having is not about that. It's about me understanding me. Me finally getting the understanding of how I create and how I get things I want and I don't want, and that others will bring me a view of that. That's all they're there for. There has to come a place where humans understand that there isn't conflict. There's sovereignty. It's a big difference. Sovereignty is your right to choose how you view, how you think, how you feel, what you want, what you don't want. And then as you interact with others, you are faced with their sovereignty. And here's where the problem comes in. This is where conflict is. It's when you are trying to enforce upon another your own values, your own picking and choosing, your thoughts on how they live their life, your ideas about how they view others or what they're doing in their day-to-day lives. This is you trying to take away their sovereignty. And they're going to react to you like a wild bull, as they should. We've told you before that you are all creating your future incarnations and have created the incarnation you're in by past incarnations and lineage. And that's never going to change. So you have to know that every time you're reacting to anybody, the universe is receiving your reaction, your feeling, because it knows that the other person is in sovereignty and it will take care of itself. You don't have to be the one that decides if this one is right or wrong, because they will draw exactly to themselves what it is they're emanating in their interaction with you. So all you need to worry about is, how do I feel? How do I feel? How do I feel? as I oppose them, as I push against them, as I want them to see my point of view and take it. Not good, we would tell you. And it's not because you're not right or that you're wrong. It's that they're sovereign. Get this. So in some sense, you're all living here on this plane individually and collectively. And some of you are going to choose to agree with the collective by your own choice. This is a choice you have. And add that to your universe and emanate that to the universe. And it can be good stuff and it can be not so good stuff. But we want you to be aware of what you're doing. Don't do it unconsciously. Don't say, the studies say this, or I have to do that, and notice not how you feel. You have a guidance system. And when you're not feeling good, it's because the high part of you is not joining you in the way you're perceiving whatever experience you're perceiving. It's about you and you. It's not about anything outside of you. It's not even about the masses. Pick and choose for yourself. Know that what you emanate, you get. Period. You just can't let go of the right and wrong. The unfairness of it all. Well, we're telling you, that unfairness that you think you're experiencing, you've been taking it with you from lifetime to lifetime, blaming it on somebody else. And don't worry, you'll get another chance because the universe isn't going to let you off the hook until you do it right. So if you don't like re-experiencing the same experiences over and over again, whether they are anger, whatever the disconnection is that you have, you've got to choose in your mastery. You've got to choose in your sovereignty. How do you want to feel? Because as you're pushing against another, the universe is receiving. You. We don't think we can be any clearer than that. And we hope that you really get this concept of mastery. Mastery isn't something where you don't feel. Quite the opposite. You're so aware of how you feel and so willing to choose something that makes you feel better so that you can stay in alignment and in this way attach to your source and receive the life in this life and in future incarnations that you're wanting to receive. This is how you get it. We hope that you've enjoyed this interaction as much as we have. And we know that these are topics that we go on and on and on about. But we wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't necessary. Because we have come here in the teaching of mastery. And we want all those that are willing to join us in this endeavor in finally getting this concept. I experience, I choose how I feel. Good day.